Good day, one and all. My name is Kathy, and welcome to this episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. Today I'm going to be making a Christmas card based on one I saw on GinaK Design's Facebook page. A lady by the name of Sandy Lax, I want to say, made this beautiful card with a church in the woods. Let me see if I can pull it up here on my iPad for you. I can't link to her Facebook page because it's a private group, but I kind of want to base my card on this. Now, I don't have any of those elements, so I'm going to use my own here. Now, I'm starting with a 10 by 7 card, which is 10 inches by 7 inches. I scored it at the 5-inch line, folded it, creased it with my bone folder. Then I have a piece of mirrored cardstock. This measures 6 3/4 by 4 3/4, and this is from Tonic Studios. I think it's their chrome silver mirror. It's white on the back. I prefer the double-sided, but this is pretty. And then I have a piece of white cardstock which measures 6 1/2 by 4 1/2, and I can set these two pieces aside. I am going to be using this stamp church from Divinity Designs. It's just called Church, and it's number A60. So I'm going to start by stamping that on my card first. And I kind of want this right about there, I think. And I'm going to stamp it with the VersaFine Clear Nocturne to get a nice black, crisp image. And I'll do one more, especially the windows in the church need a little bit more ink on them. Okay, and I'm going to pull this off and clean the stamp using my tidy towel. You can use any lint-free rag and water that you have. I'm going to set that aside because we're going to need to stamp again here in just a moment. But I have already cut a mask layer out of this. And what I did is I used this masking paper. This came from Peddler's Den. It's just a low tack masking paper. And you could use any that you have. GinaK Designs has a really nice one, and I'm sure other companies do also. This just happens to be what I have. So I stamped the image already onto this masking paper, and I cut it out. You see these dark black lines here and the cross on the church. I cut inside those dark lines so that this will fit inside the image if I get the cat hair out of there. Because if you cut your image on the outside of the white line, when you do your ink blending, it's going to show a white line around your image. So this will keep that off there. I'm going to use my waffle flower grip mat just for a little bit here to stencil with. Pardon the noise. And yes, it gets quite stained and ugly looking, but it still works perfectly. The stains do not affect the use at all. Now I've chosen a couple of yellows because I want to do almost like a moon or a soft glow behind the church. So I'm going to use sweet corn and wild dandelion. And I'm going to start with the sweet corn first because that's the lighter of the two colors. And I'm just going to put a glow right over the cross and the steeple. Okay, and now I'm coming in with wild dandelion to brighten that up considerably. Okay. Now for a sky, I want this to be a night sky scene. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my favorite sky color, which is Tim Holtz Distress Oxide Tumbled Glass. And this is a light blue. And I want to bring it down to about where the fence is on that stamp. And it's okay if you get an ink smush on here because I am going to cover the background with trees. Now, on Sandy's card, she didn't do the background, so I thought I wanted to do something similar, but not identical. Okay. Now, I'm going to darken up this black side, and this is the only two colors that I use different brushes for. All the other colors like reds and greens and pinks and blues, I use the same brush. But for light blue, I have a light blue brush, and for a darker blue, I use a darker blue brush. And I might already have some on here. So let's see. This is Tim Holtz Distress Oxide in Chipped Sapphire, which is a fairly dark color. And I'm just going to use what I already have on my brush. And come into that sky just a little bit. And look how that gives that a glow of a night sky with the heavens shining down on the church steeple or the moon. So I'm just going to add a little bit of blue to the moon to make it look like this. The sky and the moon are hidden, hiding the moon, if you know what I mean. All right, so I'm done with this. And I'm just going to clean up my mat now with my tidy towel. Squeaky clean. Put it back. Let's cover. Pardon me while I get a drink. Okay, now I'm going to get out my stamping platform again because now it's time to add the trees. And make sure I'm going to use a wet wipe just to get any ink off my fingers so I don't get this on the card where I don't want ink to be. And let's put these brushes away so that I don't accidentally smear. Because I want to smear ink. All right. Okay, now I'm going to use two trees from Peddler's Den. There's the other one. This is the Makin a Scene stamp. This is Pine Tree Light and Solid Pine. And I kind of want the Solid Pine to go here. Now these aren't mounted stamps. Don't worry, you can still use them. Just take a tape runner, put a little bit of tape on the back, and voila. Now I'm going to start with some light spruce by GinaK. And hopefully I got that straight. But that's all right if not, because trees come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. All right. Now I'm just going to wipe that stamp just a littlest bit because I want to move it over. I want to have it coming up behind the church a little bit and higher than that tree. Again, I'm going with light spruce. And this is why you leave your masked layer down so that you can not ink up your church when you're doing this. And then this one I'm going to put right here, but I need to add, just going to add a little scrap of paper down here where I cut off the grass because I don't want the tree behind the church to show in the grass. And I'm going to put that right there. You could use acetate. I just happen to have a scrap piece of paper right here. Little ink pads. And I needed a little bit more ink right in there, so it's already on it. Just press down a little harder. And a little bit more. I think what I need to do is add a little bit, let's see. I'll just take this. I need to fill in a little bit around my stencil. So I'm just going to ink. This is just a generic blending brush. There. Okay. Now, I'm going to use the same tree over here and have it come up a little bit more. And it can come down. Again with the light spruce. As I think I'll stamp that once again. Now I'm going to move it over and have one here overlapping that tree. And I'm going to stamp that again. Okay, now I'm going to switch colors and use my larger tree. This was the solid pine from Making a Scene. And now I'm using Pine Tree Light. And this one I want to come all the way down to the bottom of the card. And I'm going to mix the colors on this one. Well, that's stuck fairly well, but I use this stamp a lot, so it has a lot of adhesive on the back. So I'm going to move this right like that. But now I'm going to take light or medium spruce and stamp it first with the medium spruce. And then I'm coming in with dark spruce and just kind of randomly tapping. So I'll have a darker color in some areas of the stamp. Don't know how this is going to turn out. I've never tried this. Oh, that looks cool. All right. That worked well. I'm going to pick this up and move this over here. So I'm going to slide this card over. And I want that to be about the same height. So I'll come in with the medium spruce first. And then take the dark spruce and just tap, 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 tap randomly. I think I want a little bit more dark at the top. I just think that would look kind of cool. All right. Okay. Now I want to stamp my sentiment on here before I get to coloring. Done with that. And now for the sentiments, I've also chosen another Divinity Designs. I think I want Peace on Earth. Or do I want Joy to the World? I think Peace on Earth. And I want this over on this side, away from the, you know what? I'm going to stamp this and pop this up later. All right, I've just decided. I was going to say I want it away from the sidewalk. Now I can take off my masking layer. And you'll see that the church is still intact. Now, I am going to color the church windows and the trees in front of the church. So I'm using E188 Champagne of my Ohuhu markers. This is just going to be the brown frame of the windows and door. I'm not going to color the whole church, just bits and pieces. Just to add a little bit of color to this. Now, for the windows, because the church is in session, so we're going to have some bright windows. So I've used FY010 Fluorescent Yellow. And I'm just going to add that into the windows of the church. And I don't know if you can see the glow, but this fluorescent yellow really glows like crazy. Just adds a little bit. Pardon me. Now, it has a wreath on the door, so I'm going to use G458 Hunter Green. And the wreath has a bow, so I'm going to use R872 Tomato. Okay, now I need to pick a green that kind of goes with the other colors for the trees on the sides. So I need my scrap paper back again. I'm going to start with G554 Bronze Green. And then I'll come in with another color and highlight. And I think I'm going to get that same brown and do the cobblestone path. Okay, so I'll come back with, I'll do the cobblestone path, and then I'll come back to the okay. Now I need another green, Matcha green, and I'm going to use the fat end. For some reason, the fat ends, they have a stronger color, and I'm just adding, like I did with the colors there, just hits and misses. Now it needs another little tree here. I've got these various little trees. You used to be able to buy a sheet of stamps, and I believe this is from Northwoods Rubber Stamps, and then you had to cut apart everything that was on the sheet. I want to use, I think, this little tree right there. So I'm going to just use my stamping block and get the tree straight, so that if this has lines on it. So I'm going to like line up the point of the tree on the center line, so that I know if I'm on the center line, my tree is going to be straight. And I'm going to take light spruce and some medium spruce. I'll do it at the same time. I'm going to get this off the edge here because it can transfer. All right, so if I line that up center, I'm going to put the tree there. And hopefully this turns out. I don't like freehand stamping. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That worked well. And I think I'll put the same one on the other side. Okay, line up the center. I'm going to put it right there. Okay, now I am going to sprinkle this card. I'm going to use GinaK's Glimmer Mist, Shimmery Snow. So I'm going to just squirt some down on here on my platform because it comes out quite a bit. Now I'm taking my glasses off, so I'm just going to add a little bit of water. And then I have my fan brush. And I'm just going to tap. If you wear glasses or have your computer screen close by, I would recommend taking your glasses off if you can see it all without them. Otherwise, maybe wear something protective for over that. And I'm just adding snowflakes. Okay, now I'm going to clean this up. I'll just use a tissue that I have here. And then I'll wash this brush in a few moments. I'll bring that up so you can kind of see, how that just shimmers and looks like snow. Now I'm going to put this card together, but I want to get my sentiment stamped. So if I use Peace on Earth, I need to find an oval. Hold on. Okay, I found an oval that will fit that. So I'm going to cut this out. And I'm actually going to cut out 2 of the ovals. Oh, I still see some splatter over here. I need to get off my desk, or I'll have splatter on everything. And I can cut 2 of these ovals out at once. Actually, I have 2 pieces of scrap paper there. Because one is just going to go behind it. Okay. And this oval is from Want to Scrap. It's wanttoscrap.com, with 2 being the number instead of the word. Now I'm going to stamp my sentiment. Then I'll put this card together because I still need to add some other shiny objects to it. I'm going to put this down. But I'm going to put a piece of acetate down here so I can make sure that this is straight. I don't want to stamp a crooked sentiment. Now, I could have stamped it and then cut it out. But my brain's still a little fuzzy from being sick, so it doesn't always think the way oh, that's good. All right, I don't know how that happened. But if you have trouble stamping straight like I do, use a piece of acetate or even something clear, leftover packaging that you've peeled off something. That's perfect. All right. Again, this is from Divinity Designs, and it's called Luke 211, number B64. It comes with a beautiful flower too, but I have already put that in the flower folders. Take the towel, clean this stamp off. All right, let me put the card together. Let's see how that's going to look on there. I think I will put it over here. I'll figure that out when I get it on. Okay. So now I'm going to glue the silver frame, the matte layer down first. And try and get that straight as I can. I got a little extra glue. Where did I put my wet one? Okay, now this layer is going to get glued down. And I'm hoping you're still seeing this. Yes, you are. For some reason, something popped up on my computer screen. See how shiny that is. And it's pretty much dry already. And then just put that straight. Now, I've chosen Stickles in the color of Twinkle because it has a blue to it. But I'm also going to use a light gray. This is, oh, I've got to get my glasses back on. That would be very helpful. BG041 Cool Gray. I'm going to make some shadows under the trees. Just do a light coating under the tree, the base of the church. It just adds a little dimension. And it's not very dark gray. It kind of adds to the color of the snow. And then I'm just going to, on these snows that were stamped with the stamp, I'm going to color that in. I think I want to add a little color to the fence too. So I'm going to use that brown again, just to make the fence brown. Just adds a little something. Okay. And I'm going to put the gray under the stoop of the church door. Just adds a little shadowing. A little bit more depth and dimension to your card. So it's not, doesn't look flat. Okay, now the stickles. And I have my stickles brush here. I'm going to add to the top of the church because it's covered with snow. So the roof is going to glow. And then on the doorway of the church. Now I chose Twinkle because it has that blue tone to it that looks like snow. And we've got some here on the side of the steeple. And I'm going to just do some blue. I'm just running along. I don't need my brush for this. Where I put the gray for the ridges. Okay. Now I will decide where to put the sentiment. And I'm going to glue these two pieces together, and then I'm going to pop these up. Do I want it here? I don't want it in the center because it kind of hides everything. Or do I want it over here? I think that let me look at it on camera. There. Or there. I think I like it over here. So that's where it's going. And I'm just going to use some of my 1/8 of an inch foam strips, very low loft, and they will kind of curl around. That should be good. And I'll just peel the backings off. And I'm not even going to add any sequins or anything because it doesn't really need any more glitter and shine than it already has. Right, I'm going to go up a little bit right there. Oh, and this is crooked on that silver. Let's see if I can slide it up a little bit. That's, yeah. Oh dear. Okay, so you want to know what happens when this happens. Get a new card. Cut the silver off. It was really too crooked. I would not have wanted that to be on a card I give to someone. Or at a craft show, I would not want to sell it to someone. So you save your artwork and you ditch the rest. So I have another piece of silver here all ready to go. And I just have to score another card front. And now that card base won't go to waste. I will use it for something else. I'm going to score this at the 5-inch line. There we go. Okay. Let's put the silver on the, oh, see, I didn't get all of that silver cut off. Yep. Something had to go wrong today, but that's okay. It shows you what to do if that happens to you. It doesn't happen to me as often as it used to happen to me. This will be a little more delicate to get to stick down because I have the wet stickles on it, but it can be done. I'm going to stand up and get that thing straight. And I'm just going to hold it for a moment with my hands in the areas that I don't have the wet stickles. The spray that I had put down has already dried. Extra glue off. Okay. Need a little bit more up in this corner. That's one nice thing about the mirror cardstock is if you get glue on it or a fingerprint, you can just wipe it off. And I'm just going to hold that down. Put my embellishments on. All right, so that is my card for the day. Oh, I love that snow. I love this shimmer mist. I didn't think I would like it because I tried it on a card first, and it just went a big blob of snow everywhere. But I like how it turned out. And I'll show you the comparison, how you can get an idea from one card. Okay, this is the card that I saw. And then this is how I did my card. You can get an idea from someone and go with it. Change it up to make it your own. Okay, thank you so much for watching. As the days go by, I'll cough less and less. But thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.